What's better, saline or silicone? Well, I'm Dr. Barrett. I'm a plastic surgeon here in Beverly Hills, and I'm here to talk to you briefly about the pros and cons of saline versus silicone implants. Let's first talk about saline implants. What I like about saline implants is they're a little less expensive, and if they rupture, you kind of know right away, although this could be a con. If you do get a rupture, it's kind of like a big deflation on one side versus the other and kind of becomes somewhat traumatic, especially if you're out on vacation or somewhere far away from home. So some other pros about saline implants is that you don't need a very big incision, okay? You can make a tiny little incision, slip the implant in, and then inflate it once it's inside. A lot of people like that. Another benefit of saline implants is there's a slightly less risk of capsular contracture. Make sure you know what that is if you're thinking about breast augmentation. It's the #1 complication that can happen. That's a scar tissue that forms around the implant. Saline's just a little bit less than silicone. Now, let's talk about the cons of a saline implant. These little ridges on the side. They can show, especially if you have not a whole lot of breast tissue to begin with, okay? So people can see that when you lean over, especially it's called implant rippling. So there's a high degree of that. Not only that, but they actually feel like water balloons. They don't feel like natural breast tissue. They don't conform to the body as well either, so they can bottom out or they can fall off to the side much more likely or much more frequently than silicone implants. Let's move on to my favorite, which is the silicone implant. I like silicone because bottom line is they look and they feel much more natural. If you're looking for a more natural look, silicone is definitely the way to go. If you look, you don't see that same rippling or ridges on the side. If you do lean over, there's less implant rippling possibility with a silicone implant, especially with the smooth implants. Furthermore, if you were to squeeze one, it feels more like natural breast tissue. And lastly, my favorite is it has a flat contouring effect when it's inside, so it's less likely to bottom out or fall off to the side, especially with the moderate profile implants that you don't get with a saline implant. Now, a lot of people are worried about silicone implants because if they were to rupture, they are fearful that the silicone can cause a lot of problems. Well, they were taken off the market for about 10 years, and they were found to be safe by the FDA with dozens of studies. And now the newer ones have cohesive gel. So if we were to cut this open right now, it's like a gummy bear. It pops out, it squishes out, but it goes right back in. It takes a lot to rupture a saline or silicone implant. We've run them over with cars and we weren't able to rupture them. The thing is if a silicone implant ruptures, it's cohesive. It stays within the area as opposed to the old implants. The liquid used to go to other parts of your body and cause problems. So in conclusion, silicone gets my vote, you guys, because bottom line, it's much more natural feeling and looking than a saline implant. Yes, it is a little bit more expensive, but at the end of the day, are you gonna really look back and worry about the $200 that you saved for a saline implant? I don't think so. You want the best result, silicone's the way to go. So that's it for our saline versus silicone implant video. You guys have any questions, make sure to leave them right here in the comment section. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to check out more videos like this.